Emma walked through the city in the rain. It had been raining all day, and the streets glistened under the orange glow of streetlights. Her hoodie clung to her shoulders, heavy with water, and droplets slid from the tips of her red hair. She paused at a corner, the world around her muffled by the soft drum of raindrops. Somewhere nearby, she heard a faint meow. It came and went, barely audible under the noise of the city. Emma turned her head slightly, listening, but instead of following the sound, she just sighed, shrugged, and kept walking. She didn't know why she chose that alley. She had passed it many times before without noticing, but tonight, something about it pulled her in. She turned the corner and stepped into it. The alley was narrow and dim. Everything felt still, but not peaceful. The air was thick, unmoving. The streetlights flickered with no rhythm, casting broken shadows on the brick walls. Emma slowed her steps. There was no one ahead, no one behind. Yet she felt it, a presence. Footsteps. She stopped, turned slowly. No one. But then, footsteps again. From the other side this time. Soft at first, then louder, closer, like someone walking in circles. Watching. Her heart began to race. She wrapped her arms around herself and moved faster. Shapes drifted across the walls beside her. Shadows that didn't belong to anything. They stretched unnaturally, flickering with each blink of the failing lights. She reached the end of the alley and stopped. In front of her stood a rusted metal door with cracked glass. Above it, a faded neon sign blinked weakly. Arcade. The windows beside it were completely black. No reflections, no light inside. Something about it felt wrong, and yet she couldn't turn away. Her hand trembled as she reached for the handle. The door opened by itself with a long, slow creak. She stepped inside, and just like that, the world changed. Music, laughter, children's voices echoed down the street. Emma turned around. The alley was gone. She stood on a sunny sidewalk, surrounded by color and noise. The buildings were fresh and bright, their signs new and untouched by time. People walked past in patterned shirts, rolled-up jeans, and vintage sunglasses. A calendar on a shop window read, August 1982. Emma blinked in confusion. She felt like she'd stepped into a memory, but not her own. A group of teenagers ran past her, laughing, holding slushies in paper cups. No one seemed to notice her. Or if they did, they quickly looked away. She turned to cross the street, and then she heard it. Emma! It wasn't loud. It wasn't a shout. It sounded like it had come from above her, or inside her own head. But it was her name, clear, calm, inevitable. She followed the sound until she came to an old arcade machine, standing alone under a striped awning. The screen flickered on, and on it, her face, not a reflection. It was a version of her, older, different, sadder. It stared at her without blinking, and then the lips moved. You shouldn't have walked away. Now, you can't go back. Emma stepped backward, heart pounding in her chest. But when she turned around, the door she'd come through had vanished. In its place, only a brick wall. The street had gone silent. Even the sun seemed to dim. She gasped and sat up. Emma was in her bed, safe, warm. Leo lay beside her, curled up under the blanket, peaceful in sleep. At the foot of the bed sat Muffin, his small black body still, his golden eyes wide and calm. Emma reached down and stroked his soft fur. She closed her eyes again and whispered, "Good thing I didn't keep walking." Muffin blinked slowly, and the room was quiet once more.